Today I'll be talking about workload automation, and you're probably already thinking, yes, I've got that. But I want to stop you there. Not all workload automation is equal. We often acquire lots of different technologies that support our workload automation, and they vary tremendously on what they can provide to your business. So yes, you have workload automation, but do you really have what is needed to serve a digital business? I struggle to find any company today that is not on a digital transformation journey of some form. Business has to react in the right way with its customers and suppliers. Failure is not an option in the ultra-competitive world we're in today. The right sort of automation is critical to your success. In fact, digital business automation is born out of digital transformation, and it highlights that the workload automation of yesterday is not suitable to allow us to succeed in the digital world. You need to incorporate new technologies into existing business processes, regardless of their delivery models. Interestingly, this highlights that workload automation is still critical in our digital economy. Many people I speak to feel that going digital reduces the need for workload automation. Actually, the complete opposite is true, but you need better workload automation. With digitization, your processes become more complex. They're hybrid. They contain on-premise as well as multiple cloud solutions, so you have to manage these in a single location. Having multiple islands of automation looking after pieces of the pie is a recipe for failure. This digitization adds new things like big data that has to be incorporated at speed to give deeper analytics, but has to be connected to applications that you no longer control directly, that can only be consumed through SaaS. At the same time, you need to support the increased speed and growth that the company is expecting from its investment of digital transformation program. The business processes you run today are already complex. As we progress through our digital transformation, these processes don't get any easier. In fact, they get more complicated because they operate in a far more distributed world. Less is under the control of our bricks and mortar data centers, and there are far more links between applications running in different locations and under different operating models that control our critical business processes. So before, I only needed to run a series of jobs or scripts on machines that are ultimately under my control. In the digital world, I still have much of that workload, but I need to interconnect it with the workloads running in places where I simply cannot run a command or a script. And these connections need to be hardened. We cannot simply rely on running an API and hope for the best. We need to know when that workload actually completes. What was the business outcome of that action? And be able to instantly continue to the next steps regardless of where they may be executing. We've all acquired lots of tools to execute these jobs, as we've done this for as long as companies have relied on computers to run their business. Which means that most companies have a lot of technologies providing this service. Forrester highlighted many years ago that companies can be relying on between 4 and 10 scheduling technologies to complete their number one business process. EMA highlighted that over half of enterprises are using point solutions for these tasks. But the same survey showed that 42% of them struggle to reach the more modern technologies used in our digital transformations. Over a third of these realized, sometimes too late, that the workload automation technologies they relied on in the past were not suitable as they move forward, often having significant impacts to their digital transformation journeys. And the vast majority of them admitted to not having central, enterprise-wide visualization or control of this workload, which will obviously have an impact to IT operations and the wider business. The status quo has consequences. The fragile handoffs between processing, or in many cases the manual control by people, increases the error rate, but also our operational cost. This is also not able to scale, which is a critical outcome of digital transformation. This lack of visibility and control makes any change take longer. Those fragile interconnections mean that when we need to make change, we adopt it much slower, so that we can do far more testing to try to make sure that we've not had an operational impact to upstream or downstream processing across our business. Without that central control, but importantly, without centralized audit, we increase security and compliance risk across the company. I wanted to be able to take a couple of minutes and talk about how this impacted real companies in the real world. This customer's digitization journey focused around data warehousing and big data processing, as that drives the outputs to its customer-facing applications. They support over 300 large customers with insights and strategies by bringing together data from 60 million households. They started with a common challenge for many companies: siloed automation with point solutions across several parts of the business process. This not only created a disconnected view of processing, but the links, the connections between these systems supporting the business process were fragile. When it worked, everything was fine. But all too often, that was not the case. Like many organizations today, they operate 24/7. Maintenance windows for updates were impacting delivery, and any outage caused them to run completely blind. They combined 18 different automation environments to 2, and this was to keep client data separate and secure. The outcome? That end-to-end control with bulletproof automation platform meant they had far fewer outages, but more importantly to them, they reduced SLA breaches by over 90%. This company's digital transformation focused around their global SAP environment, which is one of the largest in the world. Split over more than 10 divisions, operating in more than 50 countries around the globe, they needed to synchronize processing across everything from a single location. Important business processes such as financial close, payments, and billing were being badly impacted because of the siloed approach to automation in the organization. They implemented our centralized automation for SAP and the wider application landscape to gain visibility and, importantly, control of the entire environment and their business processes from start to finish. Delays to these critical business processes reduced by 90%, and they freed a large amount of resources in managing the environment and allowed them to be targeted at new innovation and additional revenue-generating opportunities. Another example of using the right enterprise automation to make digital transformation a success. Broadcom's enterprise workload automation lets you regain control over your business processes, allows you to extend the reach of automation to all the technologies you need to adopt for your digital transformation, and ultimately allow IT operations to provide a better service to the business. Covering your historic applications with deep integrations into the commercial off-the-shelf ERP technologies, both on-premise and in the cloud, as well as all the latest technologies and applications either traditionally installed or in the software as a service world. It becomes a one-stop shop for all things automation across the business. Broadcom provides significant advantages to your organization when it comes to workload automation. The leading provider of intelligent automation, supported by a comprehensive ecosystem to expand your automation policies right across the business, that scales with your business and won't let you down, allowing you to automate the most complex of business processes from end to end, across your data centers, your ERP systems, and across your multi-cloud environments, delivering an automation service that helps deliver your digital transformation success. Thank you for your time today. I hope you found workload automation interesting. To continue the journey, please visit our website at broadcom.com.